Alright guys, what exciting time that we have right here, right now, as I'm doing the very first ever review here on Pure Heart. And what better way than Hillsong United's People album. Now some of you guys may be like, well Chris, this album got released 5 months ago and you're just now doing a video about it? And in that point, I say yes. Because the reason why is because this is the album that made me truly want to start doing YouTube videos, mainly YouTube reviews. Because just of how all inspiring this album is. If you guys haven't listened to this album, honestly, what are you guys doing? It's been 5 months already. I'm doing a review about it. So, I'm going to give you guys that slack since, it's been 5 months, and I'm just now doing a review. So, yeah, but at the same time, my channel just did get released, so... But no, honestly, that's why this album review is here, guys. Just so you know, for people that are late to, the music scene of the world, that's why I'm here to do a review of Hillsong United's People album, honestly. And then, alright guys, let's get into this. People is the 14th album from Hillsong United out of Hillsong Church. Now, if you guys may be giving me a lot of, like hard times right now, because my first ever review is on a Hillsong United album. At the same time, it's on a Hillsong United album. Because this album is so good. Oh my goodness, like this is a great album. And honestly, with this album, it truly sounds like you get some old Hillsong United and you get some new Hillsong United. By that, I mean by the different sounds. Like for some of their songs, it sounds like from Empires or even Wonder, where it has that kind of like very retro-ish kind of vibe. And then you also have some songs that has, that huge high energy live performance from, old Hillsong United. I can think albums like Look to You, which is a fantastic album. That album still holds up today. It's still so great on and if you guys do want me to review some nostalgic, some retro Hillsong United, leave a comment in this video and I'll definitely get to it, guys. But honestly, we're just going to start off with the very first song on this album, which is called Ready or Not. And this is an interesting one to start off because it starts off quiet and then picks up by the middle of the song. It actually really works because it's saying if you guys are ready or not, it's okay. Just come confess. Which is great because I think most of the time in our Christian culture, we're just like, okay, get saved now. Honestly, you need Jesus, you need Jesus, you need Jesus, you need Jesus. But at the same time, who are we to tell people of when to get saved, okay? It's God that, has people that get saved. So honestly, I think it's really a great song. And honestly, it just lets us to love people and to, invite people to church and say, hey, like not for us to say, hey, but maybe like the Holy Spirit will work in their lives. And that's just, and it honestly is a great song. And it has this, like whenever it starts picking up and by the middle / end towards this song, it's just like, dude, this has so much power and so much freedom. Some of the lines are, it says, he's already brought our freedom, he's already paid our debt, he's already done the miracle, he's already conquered death, he's our light and salvation, he's our rock solid hope, he's already done enough for us, he's already doing more. Lyrically, it's amazing. This whole album lyrically is amazing, besides a few other ones that we'll get to, besides a few that we'll get to a little bit later. It's a great way to start off this album, just truly, emphasizes what this album is going to be like. The next track on this album is called Here's to the One. And it's a more regular United sound. This one could have been like the first one, but I'm really glad that they did Ready or Not as the first one, just to, have a slow build. And it's just honestly just a song about praising to the one that's free. Lyrically, it's good. Here's another actually really great one. It's called Might Sound Wild. And it's really cool because it's a sleeper hit, in my opinion, that not many people will actually talk about for this album. Some people, it's like, it's okay. And this song is a great overview of our Christian faith. We're on the outside. It might seem wild that, we're praising someone that, rose up from the dead. To the outside, that's crazy. That's insane. Or even, if you read just the book of Revelation, where it's super, super intense, and to the outside, it's like, whoa, dude, this is a little bit way too much for me. I don't need this. And even as Christians, not being of this world, or even making life about us, to the outside, that's wild, and it might sound wild. Also, who doesn't love a few la la la's in there? I absolutely love it. We need more worship song with la la's because it's so great and it's so fun. And it reminds me of, some classic Newsboys song. I love it. And the next track on this album is Whole Heart, Hold Me Now. And this is another high note lyrically, and it does sound more like a typical worship song, but Taya just brings it up to another level. It's about, needing God every single day. It's great. Honestly, just a great song, lyrically, and Taya's voice is great. Now, the next song, this is probably where I'm going to spend the most time talking about. It's called As You Find Me. And if anyone knows me in person, then they can basically testify that this is probably like my favorite worship song. Probably my top 5 worship song. I always am talking about this song. It's lovely. It's beautiful, rich. Honestly, if you're a old Hillsong United fan, you recognize the singer from this song. And this song is like really great. It's because honestly we've all been in this situation, in the highest of highs and in the lowest of lows, at our best and our worst. God is there. And Joe even wrote this song during a season where he was burnt out. And us as Christians can relate to this, whether we're a pastor, we have just so much going on in our own personal life, if you're a parent and you're just like, oh my goodness, I need this, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, then this is honestly a great song, because guess what? God is gonna find you in every situation. God is there for you. He loves you. He loved you from the very start, even whenever you don't feel like it. I first listened to the song, just to be honest, because that's why I like to be on this channel. This song came out whenever I was going through a season that I was like, God, are you even here? Like, where are you? I feel silence, and then I feel like the waves are crashing over me, and God's not there. Or even, I'm just like, yeah, God, spiritual high. Personally, I was just like, this song's just feels so much about me, and I know probably a lot of you guys probably feel the same way whenever you guys listen to this song, because that's how much it relates. And you have one singer saying you love me as you find me, and you have another singer singing your love's too good to leave me here. Got that all going back and forth, and then it's just a huge build to this bridge which says, if you want my heart, I won't second guess, because I need your love more than anything. I'm yours. Your love's too good to leave me here. So beautiful. I love this song. Again, if you guys have not listened to this song, I recommend you to listen to this song, but also have a few tissues while you're listening. Then we go into Clean, which again, from Taya's voice, has a little bit of auto-tune on her, but it just sounds perfect. It's just a 3-minute song, It's a very nice break to get into some of the more action after that very strong last two songs. It's very great. It's amazing. I love it. It's so great. One is Starts and Ends, which is probably not my favorite song. One of my least favorite songs on this album. It has a great lyrical metaphor to it. It's a really nice story. It's just some of the wording I'm not a huge fan of. Personally, with the voice, it sounded like it could have been on an album like Empire or maybe even Wonder. Kind of a little bit auto-tuned-ish voice. And Jill's voice is amazing. I love it. I'm just not a huge fan of it personally. Still a great song. Now, next one is called Highlands, Song of Ascent. And whereas As You Find Me, us surrendering to God and saying, I'm yours. This song's more like God finding us like a shepherd and the missing sheep. It's a great song. Next is probably my least favorite song on this album. I'm just not a huge person on a lot of repetitiveness because this is like a chorus, a verse, and maybe a bridge. It's honestly just 3 stanzas, and it's just repeated over and over and over. And it'd be okay if it wasn't like a 5-minute or 7-minute song. Honestly, you have, something like Clean, which was like 3 minutes, and then you have something like Holy Ground, which is as long lyrically as Clean, but it's even longer in length, and it just really doesn't, mesh, it doesn't, really, it's honestly really weird, confusing lyrically, and it's just like, okay, how did this make it to the album? Next song that we have is Another in the Fire. Okay, and honestly, this is where kind of Holy Ground, going back to, that last song of Holy Ground, and this is honestly where it's just like, okay, you had like a great song in Highlands, Song of Ascent, then you have this low period, and then you have Another in the Fire, which is amazing lyrically, amazing sound-wise. It's mainly talking about the Old Testament, about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which is my favorite story in the Old Testament, especially whenever I was a kid. I still love that story still. It also has, the metaphor of, the parting of the seas in Exodus. And this song is really interesting because not many songs that are famous do you hear that's delivered from the Old Testament. A lot of it's just, Jesus focused, which is great. I love Jesus. But it's just honestly really great and nice to hear a song from the Old Testament being, more to a song that, we could all sing just, at church. Out of probably all these songs, this one is probably most likely to be sung in a lot of churches, mainly because of the lyrically and the, examples of scripture that you guys can see. It's really great. It's a great song. And then kind of the last song that we have is Good Grace, and this is probably their mega hit that they have. The song that you're going to probably hear most of the time on the radio. If you guys listen to Christian radio, I know I've heard the song on there quite a few times. And this song is really the culmination of People, and the reason why is because it's basically just what People is all about. It's coming together, and it's about community and Christ, and it's and the sounds, and with the sound, it sounds like Old United with the whoa, whoa. I love it personally. It's a great song. It accompanies what the whole album. It accompanies what the whole album is about. It's a really great song. I've honestly been saying great song probably for this entire video. I'm so sorry, guys. I will learn to get better at these reviews. you have Joey Houston that says that, you know, sounds like we're gonna get rowdy. And, you know, going into Rowdy, you know, it's kind of the extension of this other, basically the last song, which is called Echoes Till We See the Other Side. You hear the Good Grace backgrounds of the whoas, you know, the people singing. And then, you know, it just hits that drum beat that goes song, you know, lyrically, it sounds like it just jumped out of Revelation. Because it's basically saying, hey, until we get to heaven, until we see that other side, we're gonna keep on fighting. Or, you know, for those people that, you know, don't like to get that spiritual, get through this season of darkness, and to you know, get through our trials, and not just by ourselves, but, you know, with people and with God. It's just a great time. In the end, and re-listening to this over and over, I would honestly give this a rating. This is my first ever rating for this channel. A 4.25 out of 5. Praise hands! And the reason why is because lyrically it's a masterpiece with a lot of hits, a few misses here and there for me. It's still an amazing album, and definitely one you guys need to check out if you guys haven't already. And links to the album is in the description of the video. Leave a like to this video, subscribe to this channel, comment again for any other retro United albums that you guys want me to review. And guess what? You are loved. Boom. Bye.